Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your March 16th to the 31st, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now, before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box pretending to be me offering you a reading. This person is not me, they are a scammer. Do not be scammed. With that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. All right. Let's let the bulls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. And spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Fantastic. And now let's see what your chakra energy is for this time. Libra, March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Fantastic. And then the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Libra needs to be mindful of? March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. What is the energy that Libra needs to be mindful of? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly, angels. Fantastic. Okay, so let's start off with your chakra energy. We have here balance. This is the root chakra coming in. We're going to see how all this correlates with the tarot. And then we have personal power, which is the solar plexus chakra. And now for the tarot. Now this is the Stolen Child deck, which is absolutely beautiful, made by a Texas artist, which after what Texas has been through, wanted to give them a little shout out. So in the deck, as you will see, is absolutely just breathtaking. So the left-hand side is the inner self. The middle is the heart, the emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. And if you're interested in this deck, it'll be linked in the description box below. So we have the 8 of Brine, the 8 of Cups, the 7 of Oak, the 7 of Pentacles, the Queen of Oak, the Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We have the King of Swords, which of course represents you, Libra, coming through. At your root, you are a king. You're walking away from something. And it's like you're walking away from something to find your kingdom, which is super cool. We have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy, time frame December 22nd to January 19th, crowning the heart. Then we have the Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Star card, which is Aquarius energy, time frame January 20th to February 18th. We have the Queen of Cups crowning us in the public arena. We have the Fool, which is absolutely beautiful. This card just makes me smile every single time I see it. We have the Magician, and we have the King of Wands, so the King of Cups. You are crowned with the Queen. You are rooted with the King. So that's absolutely gorgeous here. That really, really is. I'm so excited for you. Whenever I have the King and the Queen from the same deck of the same suits, that means a soulmate connection, a true love connection. There's something really big happening because you have the King and the Queen, you have yourself beginning this new journey, and you have the Magician, as above, so below, as you think it. So it becomes an embracing of power, of understanding, of truth. We have the Moon as the energy to be mindful of during this time. Now, this is Pisces energy. February 19th to March 20th is the time frame, but this is also a sense of being mindful of those who perpetuate fears, of fearmongers, just people who want us to stay afraid, who want us to stay overwhelmed, who will, on purpose, add more to what we're doing. And Spirit is also saying some of them won't do it on purpose. They're just going to be so fearful themselves that they're just going to kind of like vomit this forward into the world. So here it's looking at the fears and not letting them rule you, looking at the fears and saying, okay, well, I see it, I understand it, and I'm not going to be ruled by it. I'm not going to have it break me down. And then this leads us to the King of Swords. The King of Swords, which we have very positively here representing you at the root of your inner self, is coming through as this very logical, kind of cold, person. This is, of course, air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, where they want just the facts. So there's going to be fears around facts, around the way that we're looking at things, thinking about things, trying to figure out what it is that we desire. There is a sense here of like, how do I move forward the way that I want to? How do I cut through all of the nonsense to be where I stand? And this person is just going to be adding more and more and more onto your shoulders. And it's going to be just the facts, just boil it down. If you don't agree with me, you're obviously wrong. And it's almost going to be like they want to stifle your voice. So just be very mindful of that. Or it can be that fear is here wanting to stifle your voice. So just be very, very mindful of this. We have balance coming in with the root chakra. The root chakra is all about this balance, and we can see that there's a shift. And as there's a shift, as there's this ending, there's this balance of truth, of understanding coming forward. So at the root of everything during this time, it's going to be a need for balance, a need for understanding, a need for greater insight, and a need to balance the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine aspects of ourselves. It moves us then to personal power, which is the solar plexus chakra. The solar plexus chakra with personal power is moving forward in determination, focus, greater understanding, cutting through a lot to say, this is who I am, this is where I want to be, a finding of the voice. And that's going to be, again, one of the things that we're challenged with during this time. It's like finding the voice and yet having this outside entity want to rip this voice away, or just thinking, maybe my voice isn't good enough. It can be that we have to fight against ourselves to say, yes, my voice is good enough. Yes, there is this power. There is this brilliance. There is this truth to me. And this begins our journey with the Eight of Cups, walking away from what we once thought we would love. This is an ending. Now, we might have had endings already come into our lives. The endings of relationships, the endings of, of seasons in our lives, be them really good seasons or really challenging seasons. This is a sense of looking at something and saying, wow, I once thought this held all the answers. And now we're going to see ourselves striving for something more, saying, wow, this wasn't what I thought it was going to be. This isn't moving me forward the way I thought it would. And now I'm seeing myself walking away from something that was really big. This could be the end of a relationship. This could be, a divorce. It isn't ending as severe as a divorce. This could be ending a job and starting to see within our minds that we want something different. We want something more to life. And so here there's a really severe ending that opens up beginnings. And remember, sometimes when a relationship ends, even if it's heartbreaking at the time, it can be the biggest blessing we've ever gone through. So with this ending comes a new blessing, comes a new power forward. And the Seven of Pentacles is saying, be patient. And I love that digression, that countdown from the Eight of Cups to the Seven of Pentacles, where it's like, be patient because there is something beautiful growing within us. There's this commercial, and I don't know what commercial it is, but it just caught my attention, where he said, we are all born with 2 billion heartbeats, which makes us all instantly a billionaire. And I thought that was, I don't know if that's true or not, I didn't look it up, but I thought that was beautiful. And so here, when we're looking at our heart, when we're looking at our passion, when we're looking at our soul, when we're looking at ourselves, we're looking at the way that we're spending our time, and we're looking at what we're growing in us. Now here, of course, it is a baby, but it doesn't have to be a baby at all. It can be the passion that we have, the determination that we have, the fire that we have to move forward, and looking at things in just such a different way than we were looking at them before. And so here, Spirit is saying, step back. Step back and be patient. Step back and let me take hold of things, because I will have it be at the exact right time that things start moving forward, that, beauty comes in, that things are seen, because there is going to be a sense here with this ending. There's going to come this really big frustration. It's like, well, why can't I move forward the way that I want to? And then in the heart, it feels like, oh my gosh, all these things are happening. These weights are put on me, and I don't know which way it is that I want to turn. And so here, when we move to the Queen of Pentacles, this Queen of Pentacles is the sense of, I figured it out, just wait. It is a sense of nurturing what we love most prosperously, of nurturing what is most valuable for us, of nurturing what it is that we greatly desire. The Queen of Pentacles is a sense of prosperity and bounty and success, and the sense of loving compassion, where people look at you and they see somebody who actually has things aligned pretty darn well. And even though here we're going to be looking at ourselves at this time, Libra, and saying, I've messed up, or it's not happening in the way or in the direction that I thought it would. Spirit is really saying here, step back and know that you're being guided towards wealth. You're being guided towards prosperity. You're being guided towards greater bounty, because you come through as the King of Swords. Now, it can also be that you are really connecting here, and I love the honey that's coming up and coming over her. You're connecting with things. Honey is also a antibacterial, natural antibacterial. So it can be that you're soothing wounds. You're looking at things and saying there's sweetness, there's bounty, there's joy from the earth that is coming forward within my life. But it can also be that you're connecting with someone, with something that is bringing out this joy, this prosperity, this understanding, this sense of there is more to what we're striving for than what we can imagine. And the Queen of Pentacles is this powerhouse of greater understanding and of greater truth. And the King of Swords is really cutting through a lot of the nonsense. Here, as we embrace the king for us is the warrior king, right? The King of Swords is the sense of my passion, my truth, my power is moving me forward. And because we are represented by the King of Swords, we are going to see ourselves embracing more of this sacred masculine energy, of this energy of charging forward, of cutting through a lot of nonsense that has been around us before, of looking at what it is that we truly want and desire, of saying, this is it. This is where I stand. And a lot of times, people will give the King of Swords or the swords a bad rap, because the swords are the mind, and the mind is always tricky. But when you're ruled by the mind, and when the mind is such an intrinsic part of who you are, it's never a bad thing. And so here, I always see the swords as this powerhouse. The swords are how we learn. The swords, nobody in ancient times, okay, and nobody today could just pick up a sword and be a ninja, be a warrior at it at all. They just couldn't. It takes years of practice. It takes years of dedication and hard work and building up. And as much as we would love to be instantaneously perfect at something, this is something that we have been working on our whole entire lives and will continue to be working on. The connection with our minds, the coming together with ourselves, the flying to new heights. And this brings us, this knowledge, this understanding, it brings us to the devil. The devil crowning our heart is everything that we don't want. You know, the devil in the details, the devil in the world, the chaos of the world. And the devil is trying to rip us down. And we can feel this, and we will feel this very powerfully within our hearts during this time. How do I move forward the way that I want to? How do I express myself the way that I want to? You know, how is it that I can break the chains of the world and say, but this is me? And it's looking at things, and it's looking at what society is telling us to be. It's looking at what we ourselves are telling us to be and saying, what is the beauty and the power of my soul? What is it that makes me feel like I'm flying? What is it that makes me feel alive in this world? And as long as it comes from a place of love and kindness and acceptance, why cannot we move forward in it? The devil is trying to hold us back, to say, no, but you should be like this. No, but you should look at things like this. No, but this is the correct rule. And the devil is actually trying during this time to think for us. And so often in our world, we let it. You know, the devil just kind of runs rampant. This is saying, no, I'm not going to be chained. I'm not going to be silenced. There is a power to my voice. There is a power to my truth. And it leads us to the Five of Swords. It leads us to facing something that seriously here, emotionally, Libra, we don't want to face. We just do not want to face it. We want to run away. We want to hide. We want to say, you know what, somebody else can deal with this. But this is something that we have faced before. And our main instinct during this time is going to be, oh my gosh, you know, why do I have to put up with this again? You know, why do I have to see this? Why does this have to be what's going on? But then if we step back, and we can have, you might find, and very well so, that you might have a couple of days where you feel like you're having a temper tantrum inside, where you feel like you're looking at things and just screaming inwardly, this isn't fair, this isn't what I want, this isn't where I need to be. And what we're going to see here is that this is a time where we're facing something that we have faced before and that we have, you know, had enough with. It's finding the voice, it's finding our voice, it's finding what we desire. And as we face this, we embrace this inner truth of self. We embrace this determination, this fire, this passion, this brilliance, this truth. And we find out that this is a turning point. And it brings us to the Two of Swords. It brings us to this place where we had these directions, these two directions set forward. And during this time within the heart, we're going to have to really kind of open up this knowledge and this interpretation of self, like this interpretation of what we want and where we're headed, and say, there's more here. There's more here than you could ever imagine. I'm not married to either way forward. I'm moving towards my greater goal, my greater ambition. I'm moving towards something bigger. And because we're going to see that the roads that were set before us, they start to splinter out. We start to see that it's like, oh, it's not just A or B. It's the whole entire gosh darn alphabet of every single civilization coming forward. And there's a magnitude of paths forward for us. There's a magnitude of ways to redefine, to rediscover, to embrace our power and our prosperity and our truth. And what this means is that once we face this poison, okay, there is a world that starts to open to us. Why? Because we're not the same person that we once were. Because we're not going to be held back the way that we were held back before. And we're not going to have our emotions, we're not going to have our voice dictated by somebody else. And it leads us then to the star. It leads us, we're crowned, okay, with addictions coming in, doubts, fears, negativities, angers, upsets. And then we're rooted in a wish being granted, in the soul's prosperity coming forward, in beauty and in prosperity and in bounty and in brilliance and in truth. And what this brings us is the highest form of our perfection. It's like emotionally, okay, we have to walk through some muck and some mire, most definitely. But as we walk through it, we start to see the stars in the sky. We start to see us being guided by something so great that we could not have imagined it before. We start to see ourselves becoming more of who we wanted to be, more of who we needed to be, more of what we truly want within our lives. And so here, as we look at it, and as we release so much poison, and it's releasing the venom from our own lives, we start to see the highest form of our perfection. And the highest form of our perfection isn't that everything has to be just a certain way. It is that I am embracing this freedom of ideas. I'm embracing this power of myself and what I desire in life and how I want to move forward. And that brings us to like a soul's wish, to a soul's wish being granted, to this sense of spirit looking deep within us, divinity looking deep within us and saying, but this is the way you want to move forward, isn't it? This is what your heart, your soul, your passion desires. And it brings us then to the Queen of Cups. And I love that you have the King and the Queen of Cups right here. So the King and the Queen of Cups for me are some of the most beautiful, or they are, in my opinion, the most beautiful King and Queen within the whole entire tarot. Because they're not looking outward. The King and Queen of Swords are also another one of my favorites because they're so fierce, right? But this is the opposite of fierce. This is that calm understanding. It's that wisdom that comes in after years of living when we realize, you know what? The only person I can rule is me. The only person who has power over my world at the end is me. And so here with the Queen of Cups, there is a sense of calling in that power. There is a sense of being surrounded by this beauty, by this understanding, by this passion, by this brilliance, by this truth. And there is a sense here of our water being blessed. So what nourishes our body, what, expands our soul, what guides us forward is being blessed in a really brilliant, powerful way. And we're going to see that as we take in, as we drink deeply, we become more. And what Spirit is saying about this, now I know it's in the public arena, so it's like, okay, as I drink deeply of what? And it's of emotional truth, okay? And what this means is not that, we get to just say whatever we want and for it to be taken as absolute fact. But what we say here and what we see here is that our emotions start to open, our passion starts to come, and we drink deeply of what inspires us, of what, fuels us forward in a way that others might not understand. And as we drink deeply of this knowledge and of this wisdom and of this power, we start to see ourselves standing up a little bit taller, a little bit stronger within what we want, and becoming a little bit more confident. It's like, well, this is me. Okay, I might not be perfect, thank you, but I am who I was born to be. And at this moment, in this junction of my journey, this is my extraordinary. This is my power. This is my brilliance. This is my truth. And it leads us to the Fool. It leads us to this happiness, to this card that it just makes you smile, doesn't it? It's just this sense of joy and brilliance, and you can have new roads. You can have this new understanding. The Fool is the beginning. This baby is the beginning. And there are an infinite amounts of possibilities that come forward. And so here you have the hummingbirds around him bringing joy and laughter and just this mightiness to the situation. And it's saying, choose your path. Choose what you desire. Move forward in what your heart longs for. It's time. It's time not to say, well, I can't because, but to say, I am because. Because if not now, then when? If not me, then who? How do I get to move to where I want to be if I do not become the advocate for myself? If I do not look at the world and say, this is my step, this is my passion, this is my truth, this is what I desire, and take that leap of faith. Take that leap towards something grand. It doesn't mean that we have to become movie stars or rock stars or that everybody has to know our names at all. What it means is that we take that step towards the dream within our soul, towards the passion within ourselves, towards that bliss that divinity planted in us when we were very small, and that as the years go on, we tend to ignore. This is a time of not ignoring ourselves anymore. In the public arena, we are looking at the path and saying, why not take the leap? Yes, there is one thing that is assured. When you leap, you will fall, okay? When you jump, you will always have to come down. But what we have here, then, is the magic coming forward. The magician, as above, so below. As you believe it, so it becomes. As you think it, so it is. The magician moves us towards more than we could possibly understand, more than what we had originally thought we wanted. The magician moves us towards an embrace of our ideas, of our passion, of the seeds that we are planting, the prosperity that we want within our lives, of the emotions that are building us up. And we see ourselves moving in this powerful way to a place that gets to hold our dreams, that gets to hold our exaltation of love and joy, of being and of striving. The magician knows what I focus on, what my mind focuses on, I build within my world. And that is a really good thing, and it's a really scary thing. So if we're in a really dark place, and it just feels like night all the time, and there is a lack of hope, we build that around us. And that's in the public arena. So if we take the reins back and we say, you know what, no, I get to build this exaltation, I get to build this joy and this prosperity and this laughter and this fun, well, that becomes a game changer. And that starts to be what we see, even in the darkest of circumstances, even in the harshest of times. This is what we get to see. And it moves us then to the King of Cups. It moves us to saying, this is my truth. I rule only myself. And the Queen, she drinks deeply of it. She shares it with everybody. But the King, he says, listen, if you want to live as I live, if you want to have the bounty that I have, that's great. Live by my example. Because I cannot tell anybody else what to do, pull anybody else forward. This is a time where you might feel a bit selfish, when it comes to the public arena, because it's like, no, if I want to, have this hardship coming in, settling over my heart, making me doubt my ways forward, as I start to see things, then start to splinter off and become more than what I expected, I have to start believing in me. That's it, period, end of discussion. I have to start looking at a new path, or else the sorrow, well, it'll just eat me alive. And we don't want that. If you've stumbled across this channel, if you're part of this family, you want more than what the world is offering. You want more than what we're told to settle for. There are dreams of the heart that are just shining within us. And divinity is saying, I'll bring them forward. I'll bring them forward. Don't let the nightmares eat them. Don't let the doubt kill your dream. And there's a striving towards something more than what we expected, than what we desired, than what we had originally thought we could have. And there's this gestational period that divinity is focusing on and saying, the beauty is coming. The beauty is coming. Just let me guide it. Let me take hold of it. All right. The spirit animal message for this time. Libra, March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. March 16th to the 31st, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. So we have here the Panther spirit, and the Panther spirit says, reclaim your power. And that's what this time is all about. It's about reclaiming the power that we have within us. It's about saying, this is my life, this is what I desire, and I'm taking the reins. It then leads us to the lion spirit. And the lion spirit says, be generous of spirit. Be generous, yes, to others, most definitely, but be generous to yourself. With what you desire, with your power forward, with what you're looking for and towards. The subconscious chakra message is inspiration. The sacral chakra, which is what we have here, that holds a lot of negativity from this life and past lives. And so our sacral chakra, which is where our creative energy is held, our sexual energy is held, can be really bogged down by the world. And it makes us feel like, I just can't move forward towards the new dawn that I want. And that, if we let that continue, if we don't look at the hardships that are holding us back, right? The devil, the chains that are coming in, the addictions, the doubts, the fears, the sense of, I'll never be able to stop this loop. The inspiration won't come. It'll be like, okay, maybe I can get there. Maybe the dawn is coming, but it'll always be pushed out to tomorrow and tomorrow. And what Spirit is saying now is that it has to be today. To embrace this passion, to embrace what we desire, it has to be today. And it brings us to a new dawn, which is what we want within our lives. And it brings us to our subconscious spirit animal message, which is the armadillo spirit. It says, set healthy boundaries. Do not let people push into your world. Take control over what you want and what you desire from your life. Set healthy boundaries. It brings you then to the Hierophant, to the High Priest. This is Taurus energy. April 20th to May 20th is the time frame. What you want here and what you're embracing here is being the ruler of your existence, of saying, this is my throne, this is what I desire for my life, this is my truth, this is what I will not go against, because this is an essence of me, and I get to embrace my power, my voice, and my being. I get to be mightier, right, than I ever thought I could be. And it brings us then to the subconscious tarot message, which is the Page of Cups. We become the student of our hearts. We become the students of what we desire. We start to listen to our heartbeat. We start to listen to what we love. We start to listen to the beauty of ourselves. And that becomes something really quite amazing. And we set forward this song, and we're going to find that we find inspiration from the most unlikely of places. And what people would consider little and insignificant, we're going to find to be mighty and astoundingly powerful. All right, Libra, I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we claim our power, as we, look at the hardships and say, you do not define me. And as we embrace a bravery we didn't know we had. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.